Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here. Today, as I said, I'm in Herne Bay. I'm just enjoying the lovely peacefulness and tranquility of this beautiful place. Got lots of nice calming noises coming from the ocean, and you hear the seagulls. You can see a few turbines down there. Don't know whether you can see them here, and then you've got a pier all the way over there. Be heading over there soon. So I just thought I'd take the bike out, my granddad's bike, just because I need to do some exercise, so I'm getting a bit tubby down here. And it's the best way to do it because I don't like walking too much, and I love riding a bike. I hope you guys appreciate how peaceful places are sometimes, because it's brilliant for where you just want to get away and enjoy yourself, because it's calm and it allows you to do whatever you want. Anyway, I'm going to be attaching this to the other end of my video that I'm going to be uploading today, as I've got to think of some sort of topic or something, because I said I'm going to be doing a vlog every single day if I can, which is probably possible because I don't have much to do. So I'm going to be uploading this along with probably something about football. I know you don't like me talking about football, but it's only going to be the one day, and then I'm going to go through the other sports, learning about them sports, talking to you guys about them. And I'm going to go through other topics, look at the news maybe, talk about a few things on there. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this little part of the video. The nice ocean. Brilliant. So yeah, see you guys in the next part of the video. Goodbye. Right guys, I'm back from my bike ride. Well, I have been for a few hours now. I've just had my lunch. And this is going to be the second part of the video. The first part, of course, being the bike ride. This part of the video, I'm going to be talking about where I think the teams in the Barclays Premier League will finish. I know, boring football. Never mind. This is the only part of football that I think about doing for now. And I'm going to be looking at a few other things to do, as I said in the part of the video before. So I'm going to be going from relegation to champions. So let me just clear this up. This is my personal views. Everyone's allowed to have their personal views. I think it's a bit rich that I'm actually going to be doing a BPL position in the league video when I've got a New York Red Bulls shirt on. Never mind. Doesn't matter whatsoever. And I just think that I'm going by the transfers and how well they did last season. It's nothing personal against any club. That's how I feel. So in 20th, I think Sunderland, because Sunderland, they haven't been very good recently, and they just don't make them cutting-edge signings. Well, they haven't at least done that many good signings since I've looked at their team. Yeah, they signed Defoe last season, but they need like world-class signings to keep them away from that relegation zone, because all they're doing is battling that relegation zone. I could be wrong, who knows. Next team in 19th, I think West Bromwich Albion. Again, their problem is their strike force. It seems to be a lot of these sides that I think are going to be low are going to be to do with their strike force. I think they need to get it sorted out. I think they need to figure out whether Sado Berahino is going to be their star striker or not. And they need a few more brilliant players to go with Lescott, because when Lescott signed last season, they said they was going to sign fantastic world-class players that no one had ever been playing with before, and it just didn't turn out that way, and they just struggled all season. They didn't get that far from the relegation battle, but they done all right. But I think this season they're going to struggle a lot more with the teams starting to buy bigger players. Next up the list is 18th, and I think it's going to be Norwich. Yes, they have signed a few good players, but I don't know whether they're going to be good enough and going to offer enough in the Barclays Premier League. Yeah, Malumbu's a good signing. They have a few good players. Their strikers are good. Who knows? They could get away from the relegation completely, but I feel that they're just not going to be strong enough. Next, in 17th, I think Swansea. Yeah, they've signed some good players, and I reckon they could do well, but it's whether these players hit form. And then that leads me on to 16th, which is going to be Aston Villa. Now, if you think about it, Aston Villa are a good side. I really think they should be high in the table, but their form last season thinks otherwise for this. I think Christian Benteke is going to leave. I reckon he's going to go Liverpool. So I think they're going to struggle for strikers, and they're going to have the same season that they did last season and just going to have a decline. I don't think they're going to be relegated, because I think the arrival or kind of an arrival, because having Delph stay at the club is good, and having Meekin Richards join the club, that is a decent deal as well. Next up, I think Watford. I don't know about Watford. I reckon they could finish higher because they have got a few good players, and I really like the Watford team. Personally, I don't like them because what happened when they played Millwall, but they are a fantastic team nevertheless. Next up, Everton. Yeah, getting Deulofeu and Cleverley was fantastic, but they struggled last season. It's whether they can actually hit top form, otherwise they will be struggling like they did last season. Now, the next side that I think are going to finish in the Barclays Premier League is Bournemouth, and I think they're going to finish 13th. I think they've made a few good signings, and being the team that finished that high in the Championship and won the league, I reckon they have fantastic players out there. Along with the new signings that they've made, I think Distin is a fantastic signing. The keeping hold of Burch from the loan of Southampton, that was amazing. And I think they're going to be the strongest side out of all the sides that got promoted to the Premier League. Next up, we have Leicester. Now, yes, they have lost Nigel Pearson and they have just had a new manager appointed. But I really think they're going to do well because it's how well they did to get away from that relegation battle at the end of the season. I think they're going to do just fine. Next up, we have Newcastle. I'm not sure about them. To be honest, I put them that high because I think that it's about time that they do better. Because they've just been struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling. They need to do fantastic for once. I remember when Newcastle were up there battling in Europe tournaments. And now they haven't been battling it. McLaren said that he wants to get them up there. So let's see if they can. Now, mid-table is Stoke. I think Stoke, because Stoke are a fantastic football club and they always manage to do well. Now, one season they may struggle, but I don't think it's going to be this season. 9th, Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace are a fantastic team. Me being a Millwall fan, I shouldn't say this about my rivals, but they have done really well. They battled really well last season, ever since Pardew came in, and I think Johan Cabaye, he's a fantastic player, and I think that's just what they needed, and they're going to do superb. In 8th, I think Southampton. I think they're still going to be up high in the table. Now, I think that's probably lower than what they finished, but I can't quite remember. But now that they've got rid of Schneiderlin, for a lot of money to be fair, and they could be getting classy, who knows, but at the moment I don't think they're going to finish high in the table. Now, this is the worst and most painful thing for me to say, because I'm a Millwall fan, and I think West Ham are going to finish 7th. Yes, almost in Europe. Now, I heard they're doing alright in Europe at the moment, so I don't know, I'll keep monitors on that, because I think they've got a good team now. They've signed Payet, they've signed a few other good players, and I think that they could challenge for Europe. But I think their class is still below par, because I think they still need to get a few more good players to compete with the big dogs in the Premier League. But 7th is still a really respectable position for a team that has just gone out and bought a load of good players and are about to move to the Olympic Stadium. Now, in 6th is Tottenham Hotspur. I think Harry Kane is going to bang in loads of goals and they're going to be fine all season. But in terms of their team overall, they're struggling. They haven't really signed a lot of good players. They're not struggling, but they haven't signed fantastic players. I'm not actually sure if they have signed anyone that's going to help them in any way, shape or form. I think the only thing they've really done is sold Capuy to Watford. Now, all they need to do is keep hold of Lloris and they should have a great season. Now, into 5th, I think Manchester City are going to finish there because they haven't signed anyone that is going to be worth any value to them this season. They're going down the same routes that they did the last few years. Just go for youngsters. Which is stupid because they think that they're better than what they are, and in fact I think that's going to alternately take them out of the Champions League. Now, that would be a big fall from grace, so I'm not quite sure whether that would happen, but reality says that they should, because their players aren't all that fantastic. But it just depends on who they sign through these upcoming days in the transfer window. Now, 4th, I reckon Liverpool. I reckon because signing Firmino and getting a load of other good players into the team, I think it's just they've done really well to get all the young English players in. I reckon Milner will be alright. Yes, Milner's boring, but he's a fantastic player. Sterling leaving, well, I think he's a bit of an idiot, to be honest, because I know he wants trophies, but he's just abandoned a team that pretty much made him. And he's not like he even done well there, because he wasn't fantastic, and I would never have called him one of England's best. He was very, very average. And if he is ever going to be worth 49 million or whatever Man City are about to pay for him, good on him, but at the moment he's nowhere near that level. Third, I think Chelsea, they have signed a few decent players. I hope Falcao does well, but I think that in terms of they need to sign a few more players. They need to get a definite striker that's going to be overall fantastic, because I know that Costa's always having problems. He's not always injured, but sometimes he's red carded or sometimes he's doing something stupid, and he's sometimes a liability, but he does bang in a lot of goals. I'll give him that. Second, Manchester United. They could even win the league. I mean, out of the top three, I think any of them could win the league. I've just put them there because I personally think that's how they'll do on the players they transferred to their clubs. Man U, because I think signing Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger was fantastic. Damien's come in, or Damien, whatever his name is. And I just think that if they can keep hold of De Gea, then they will be set to at least challenge for the title this year round. First, I put Arsenal because I think signing Petr Cech was really all they needed, a good goalkeeper. Now, maybe a striker, but I reckon they're going to get that before the window closes because they know how much they need it. Because Danny Welbeck was good, but he wasn't fantastic. That's what I think of the Barclays Premier League table and how I reckon it's going to go. Now, if anyone does want to put how they predict the clubs are going to finish in the description below, feel free to, because I know not many people comment on my videos, but it's just nice to know what you guys think. Anyway, that's the end of this two-parted video. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.